I've been looking at the Washington High State Report Card, and I've come up with a sample action plan regarding Washington High and what I would do as the principal of Washington High. Goal number 1 would be to increase student attendance by 5% during year 1. You can't learn if you don't attend. How can we achieve goal number 1? I would go directly to the source and find out why the students aren't attending school. I would ask the students themselves, and I would use these reasons to alter current school procedures or policies to incentivize students to attend. I was thinking possibly a half-day ice cream social to the homeroom with the best attendance tardiness, one halfway throughout the year and one at the end. I would also like to create a plan to increase communication between parents and teachers. If the student has a job or is helping to provide for his or her family, he shouldn't be hurt by that. His schooling shouldn't be impacted by that. He's getting real life experience, and it's a necessity for his family. So we should work with them as a faculty and understand that their home life may not be as good as ours once was. The last thing I would do is hire an attendance monitor. One person solely responsible for noticing trends in student attendance. If a student's chronically absent, this person may go to the student's house and speak with the family, or they could inform me in an extreme case, and I would take the reins from there. I've seen this work in other schools where the attendance monitor actually goes to the student's house at 7 o'clock in the morning and wakes up the parent and the student and knocks on the door and says, "Hey, why are we not going to school today? What's the deal?" Only when it's a chronic absenteeism and it's very obvious that the student is not ill. We know we've met this goal when we've increased by at least 5% in the next year. I definitely want to make that jump because I believe that attendance affects everything else. So I believe that if the students are in school, just by osmosis, they would have to increase their math scores and language arts scores on the state test, and possibly when they see more improvement, they may have more motivation to keep going. Goal number 2 is to raise the student mathematics assessment scores by 10% in the next 2 years. We're not meeting the state target for mathematics assessments, and we really need to get to that point. It's a great goal it's a very important skill that students have going into the workforce. How can we achieve goal number 2? My ideas are to hire mathematics teachers that are new with a desire to reform the way students think about math. Hopefully, people that will encourage growth mindset in the classroom. Everyone can learn math, but there's no such thing as a math person. That misconception has gone on for too long. Anybody can be a math person just as long as they work hard enough. Just like anybody can be anything they want as long as they work hard enough. And I want to encourage hard work in my school as opposed to being smart. If a teacher is not on board with all of this, my plan would be to assign them a co-teacher that is on board. I'm not going to tell them that I'm assigning this co-teacher, but I'm assigning the co-teacher in the hopes that they'll pick up the positive habits of that co-teacher, and then we will have 2 highly effective teachers on our hands, whereas before we had an effective teacher and a highly effective teacher. I definitely want to encourage collaboration for all of our teachers, and hopefully they will find new, innovative, fun ways to gain deeper understandings of the subject, whether it be Algebra 1, geometry, so on and so forth. I also want to give my teachers the freedom to focus on the big ideas of their subject, okay? Whether it be, like I said, Algebra 1, geometry, Algebra 2. They don't have to reach everything in the curriculum. As long as the students gain an enduring understanding of the big ideas, it's proven fact that they can pick up on the smaller changes in the curriculum. the smaller topics. They will pick up on that if they truly understand the big ideas. And that's what I want my teachers to focus on from now on. It's also proven that focusing on those big ideas is more effective in standardized testing as well. We'll know we met this goal when 26.4% of our students meet or exceed expectations. We need to make the state target within 2 years. So we have to increase our math scores by 8.5% in 2 years, which I think is totally doable if we really implement the growth mindset, if we implement the focusing on the big ideas and the teacher collaboration, whether they know it or not. Now, what am I going to do to support my students and my teachers? Okay, they're not expected to do all of these improvements on their own. I will be monitoring them every step of the way. First, I'm going to start with greeting the students at the door each morning and creating a positive environment that they want to be a part of. Nobody wants to go somewhere where they don't feel welcome or where they don't feel, where they're not enjoying it. So I do feel like starting everybody off on a positive foot with a smile every morning will definitely help that. I will hold weekly student principal summit meetings with an even distribution of high, medium, and low achieving students that will attend. I want to make sure that I have all three tiers of students attending, because each tier requires something different of me and of their teachers. I need to know what they need from me and what changes we can implement to help them get the education that they deserve. Not only will I do that, but I'll also hold weekly lead teacher and principal meetings. Each department will have a lead teacher, and they will, any complaints, concerns, issues, they can convey to their lead teacher, who will then bring it up to me each week. And then I'll know what my teachers need from me. And I can also welcome their ideas and feedback. So something that the math department might have thought of as far as innovating their instruction, we can then at this meeting share ideas and collaborate, which I think is a great idea. And not only that, but they can then criticize me, because I'm not perfect. I try to do what's best for my students and my teachers at all times, but sometimes you do need the teacher feedback and the student feedback in order to know that your idea is or is not working. I'm going to consistently be roaming the halls, making sure students are in class and on task, because I think that's a huge issue. Like I said, the more they're in class, the more they're bound to pick up. And I will follow up attendance issues. As I said before, I will visit the parents to stress the importance of attendance and to offer any support we can give. Sometimes I feel like the attendance issue is just the student can't even get to school because the parent is working or so on and so forth. And again, if they aren't in school, they can't learn. So we need to stress to our parents that we've got their backs. I need to stress to my teachers that I have their backs. And I need to stress to my students that me and their teachers have their backs. Nobody is out to get anybody. This shouldn't be a negative experience, and we should all have a good time. And hopefully that will increase school morale and in turn increase attendance and scores. I really genuinely think that this action plan will work. And once I meet with my teachers, I do believe we will be able to come up with more succinct and more specific plans